20 biggest construction mistakes in the world. Now, for context, I am studying architectural engineering. What the fuck was that? Can y'all quiet down? I am studying architectural engineering at the University of Texas at Arlington. Probably shouldn't have doxed myself, but as an engineer, these things could happen. If I let y'all down like this, I ain't gonna lie, gang. I'm out this earth, bro. I'm out of here. I'm not even gonna be here no more. So, I feel like I am in bed. I have something to do. I have something to watch. God damn.
Big wall of water. This was a...
My God. Holy crap. Already cutting into the video. This is pretty insane. Whew.
10-inch piece of plate glass that exploded literally.
Imagine pouring millions of dollars, countless hours, and endless effort into a construction project.
Someone's Champlain Tower, something's going on here. You gotta get us out of here.
Only to see it crumble or fail in the most spectacular way possible.
We are shocked at the condition of the marble.
There we go. Wow.
From towering skyscrapers to massive bridges,
The actual collapse of the world's third largest suspension bridge.
even the most ambitious and impressive structures have experienced catastrophic mistakes that led to disastrous consequences.
God.
In this video, we're diving into the biggest construction blunders in history, where engineering errors, overlooked details, and sheer bad luck turned monumental projects into cautionary tales.
The power of the few sun rays bouncing off that building is making me sweat uncontrollably, now over 50 degrees Celsius.
Yo!
Get ready for a wild ride through the world of colossal construction.
Yo! Are you engineers fucking retarded? Are y'all not gonna check the vitals of the building? Are we serious here, bro? This is just fucking ridiculous. As a human being who did not pay to come to this earth, I had some parents that ended up making me, and I didn't even want to live here, and you niggas can't make a good building? Woo! Glory be to God! Thank God I've never been through this one. Holy moly!
Construction failures.
Woo!
Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Okay.
The Leaning
Let's get
Tower
it.
of Pisa is often regarded as one of the most famous architectural mistakes in history, yet
Yeah.
its tilt has become an iconic feature. When you first look at it, you might think it's a carefully designed masterpiece, but there's one glaring detail: the tilt. The leaning wasn't intentional,
Yeah.
but rather the result of a construction flaw. The project began in 1173 with the goal of building a freestanding bell tower for the nearby Pisa Cathedral. However, the problems arose early in the construction process, specifically when they reached the third floor. At this point, the soil underneath the tower became unstable, leading to the tilt. The foundation of the tower, which was only about 3 meters deep, was not strong enough to...
Bro, imagine if that shit just fucking falls down on the ground and everybody, like, literally just taking pictures just fucking gets... Alright, hold on, let me chill, bro. I'm getting a little too pessimistic here. Let me relax. But goddamn, like, just think about how scary this is. 6-7! And niggas say college is not important, bro. Nah, let me chill.
support the massive structure, and the tower began to lean even before it was halfway finished. This flaw caused construction to halt for nearly a century due to political unrest and wars. But in an ironic twist, this break allowed the soil...
Yo, niggas were having war. Think about this, y'all. Niggas were having wars back then, right? They were having wars, doing all this crazy stuff, and they couldn't even build a building properly? What? Like, how blind... I'm so glad I was not born in the past. How blind was the human race back then? Just think about that for 2 seconds. How blind was this human race, bro? Yo, y'all niggas went to wars, had kings and queens, all this crazy ass beliefs. Y'all could not make a simple building, bro. What are y'all doing, bro? What the fuck are y'all doing? But anyway, though, I don't know. But hey, that's just...
to settle. The settling helped prevent an immediate collapse, but the lean became more pronounced as the tower continued to rise. By the time the tower was completed in 1372, the tilt had already become a prominent part of its character. Over the centuries, the angle continued to increase, but the tower still managed to stand. The structure endured numerous restoration efforts, but it wasn't until a large-scale restoration project began in 1993 that significant work was done to stabilize the tower. The project, which continued until 2001, used a series of engineering techniques to reduce the tilt and ensure the tower's future stability.
Oh,
Now
okay.
it's time for something
Oh,
concerning.
let's go then.
Recently in China,
You
an
nigga,
archway
that's
collapsed.
kind of funny. That's actually kind of wow.
Although the arch
Nigga, we had an accident in fucking China, bro. China had a freaking accident? Nah, that's tough. I ain't gonna lie. China's literally our future.
reduce the tilt and ensure the tower's future stability. Now it's time for something concerning. Recently in China, an archway collapsed. Although the archway was supposed to be purely scenic, many ceased to climb it. On this faithful day, the structure collapsed, lunged more than 100 people down towards Earth. The true scale of the incident is yet to be known. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know.
Oh, that's it?
Lotus Riverside
it?
Complex.
That's it?
In 2009, one of the buildings
Yo, was this video fucking AI, bro? Not gonna lie, when did this shit come out? It came out right before 2025. Yeah, this shit could probably be AI. I mean,
Riverside Complex.
nah, it's definitely AI.
In
Fucking
2009,
AI revolution.
one of the buildings in the Lotus Riverside Complex in Shanghai fell over like a giant domino, creating one of the most dramatic construction failures in modern history. The Lotus Riverside Complex, a modern residential development, was meant to be a symbol of urban progress in Shanghai, with its sleek,
Shanghai?
high-rise
Is that China?
buildings
Is that China?
offering luxury living spaces. However, on June 27, 2009, disaster struck when one of the buildings in the complex unexpectedly toppled onto its side. What made this collapse so shocking was that there were no natural disasters like earthquakes involved, just the combined effects of poor construction practices and human
Yeah.
error. The building fell due to
100%.
a serious flaw in its foundation. The issue began during excavation work for an underground garage beneath the building. In the process, large amounts of soil were removed from around the structure. This disruption weakened the foundation of the building, which was already built on unstable ground. As the excavation continued, the
How
soil
the fuck
surrounding the
did y'all not
building
check
became
that, bro?
too loose to support the massive weight
Bro,
of
in
the
this moment, should we check the engineers or the construction workers? Like, who in this moment is... I feel like both niggas should get sued. How the fuck did y'all not check that shit, bro? Y'all, like, bro, niggas are trying to focus on creating this modern fucking Viltrumite empire world. Nigga, focus on just getting the building to stand forever. Unless there's a natural disaster that could potentially fuck that shit up. Nigga, how about you just focus on the fucking building standing first? That's it. That is that. Before I focus on anything else, focus on the building fucking standing. There is no idea that can be fully manifested if it's not fucking real or not rooted in reality, bro. Literally.
structure. Adding to the problem, heavy rains hit the area shortly before the collapse, further destabilizing the ground around the building. The foundation, unable to handle the combined effects of
That's
the excavation
crazy.
and the rain-soaked soil, gave way, and the building slowly toppled over onto its side.
that's so
Remarkably, despite the dramatic nature of the collapse, the building didn't crumble into pieces. It remained largely intact as it tipped over, though it was severely damaged. The fall of the building drew worldwide attention to the dangers of rapid urban development, particularly in cities like Shanghai, where high-rise construction is booming.
This is sad. This is hell on
It
earth,
highlighted how construction flaws,
shit is hell
such
on
as
earth, bro.
improper excavation techniques and inadequate foundation design, can have catastrophic consequences. The Lotus Riverside collapse became a cautionary tale about the potential hazards of hasty construction in the race to accommodate growing urban
bro.
populations.
Thank you.
Hi-
Bro, prioritize, people's safety over anything else, bro. I don't care how shit that building looks, bro. Safety is way more important than than thriving in potential and not even potential, just thriving in complete unsafetyness. Thriving in safety is better than thriving in unsafety. Period. It is just point blank. Period. Bro.
In the race to accommodate growing urban populations.
Better safe than fucking sorry. Literally.
Hyatt Regency walkway collapse. In 1981, the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Kansas City, Missouri, became the site of one of the deadliest building collapses in U.S. history.
Oh yeah.
The hotel, known for
I think my teacher had just recently, my professor had just recently talked about this. He didn't go into detail, but he spoke on it.
its striking atrium with suspended walkways, was designed to impress guests with its architectural beauty. The suspended walkways, hanging from the ceiling above, connected the second and fourth floors and were a prominent feature of the hotel's grand lobby. However, on the night of July 17, 1981, disaster struck during a crowded Friday night dance event. As the festivities were in full swing,
this is the scariest thing ever, because they didn't cover this in the other buildings that fell. But bro, to anyone who was in this, R.I.P. dog, for sure. Just automatic R.I.P. bro. This is just not deserving at all.
two suspended walkways suddenly gave way, sending dozens of people plummeting to the ground below. A total of 114 people lost their lives, and more than 200 others were injured, many seriously. The collapse became one of the deadliest structural failures in American history, shocking the nation and raising questions about building safety and engineering practices. The cause of the collapse was traced back to a small but critical change made during the construction of the building. Originally, the walkways were designed to be suspended from the ceiling using a single set of hanger rods. However, during the building's construction, the design was altered to use two sets of rods, one for the second-floor walkway and another for the fourth-floor walkway. This modification resulted in doubling the load on the connection points where the rods met the walkways. Unfortunately, the points where the rods connected to the walkways were not designed to bear such an increased load. As a result, these points failed under the weight, causing the walkways to collapse. Aquadome Aquarium burst.
Bro.
The Aquadome in Berlin, once hailed as the world's largest cylindrical aquarium, was a breathtaking engineering feat and a major tourist attraction. Standing an impressive 8.2 feet tall, the Aquadome was a marvel of design, holding
8.2 feet tall. This is fucking AI. But before we even talk about AI or do anything, 82 feet fucking tall.
Huh?
82 feet tall aquarium? I mean, like, bro, do y'all think, like, I would be fucking impressed if I saw that shit. I'm no cap, 1,000,000,000% sure I would be impressed if I saw this shit. But, like, I'd be like, bro, again, safety overlooking cool, bro. All right, I am I have integrity before I'm a celebrity, bro. I do not care. Trust me, man. Like, we can die just like that. We have seen many instances of people dying just like that. So let's lock in. Let's use our heads. Let's connect our brains.
Aquarium was a breathtaking
crazy,
engineering
bro.
feat and a major tourist attraction. Standing an impressive 8.2 feet tall, the Aquadome was a marvel of design, holding 1,500 tropical fish within its massive acrylic tank. It was located inside the Radisson Blu Hotel, where visitors could marvel at the underwater world as they rode an elevator that passed through the center of the tank. The Aquadome had become a symbol of Berlin's innovative architecture and a popular spot for tourists and locals alike. However, in December 2022, disaster struck when the Aquadome suddenly burst, causing catastrophic flooding in the hotel and the surrounding streets. Millions of liters of water poured out of the tank, flooding the lobby and causing significant damage. The tank's collapse was not caused by an external force like an explosion or earthquake, but by a structural flaw in the acrylic material that made up the aquarium. Over time, the acrylic walls of the tank had developed microfractures, small cracks that were barely visible to the naked eye. These flaws were likely exacerbated by environmental factors, such as temperature fluctuations and the immense pressure exerted by the weight of the water inside the tank.
Hell yeah.
As these microfractures worsened,
And also just wind in general. You know, my professor, he didn't go into detail, but he just talked about how, like, you would be surprised at how strong wind moves when, like, you don't even feel that shit. Like wind is moving very, very fucking hard. Like, wind moves hard. And we're not even talking about tornado. We're just talking about normal wind. So, like, bro, there is a lot that goes into this. This requires massive fucking teamwork, dog. Like, this requires massive fucking teamwork, bro.
the structural integrity of the tank weakened until it ultimately gave way. When the aquadome burst, it caused the deaths of hundreds of tropical fish that had called the aquarium home. The collapse also led to millions of dollars in damages to the hotel and the surrounding area, as the floodwaters wreaked havoc on the building's infrastructure and property. The aquadome disaster raised significant concerns about the long-term durability of such massive, unique structures. While the aquarium had been a stunning architectural and engineering achievement, its sudden collapse highlighted the risks associated with large, complex installations made from materials like acrylic, which may degrade over time under constant pressure and exposure to environmental stresses.
How? Bro,
the sinking of the Vasa.
Are these niggas not scientists? Like, do they not understand, like, what goes into buildings, what goes into... Like, are y'all niggas just not checking that? Don't y'all have a team of, like, fucking 50 people? Bro, like, the safety over getting paid or any of that shit, bro. Safety over all of that, bro. Like, at the end of the day, brother, if you were not safe, none of this shit would be happening, bro. You do realize that, so, like, bro. Like, I don't know, my brain just lives in facts, so, like...
In 1628, Sweden's King Gustavus Adolphus commissioned the construction of the Vasa, a grand warship meant to showcase the power and might of the Swedish Navy. The Vasa was intended to be one of the most formidable ships of its time, boasting an impressive array of cannons and a majestic design that reflected the nation's aspirations. However, the ship's maiden voyage turned into one of the...
I don't know what... like, now that I look back, like, what were older humans doing back then? Holy hell, I am just so glad I was born in the fucking 2000s. I don't have to deal with none of that shit.
Most infamous maritime disasters in history. On August 10th, 1628, the Vasa set sail from the docks in Stockholm, but within just 1,300 meters of leaving port, disaster struck. The ship began to lean uncontrollably to one side, and before anyone could react, the Vasa capsized and sank. Despite being an imposing and heavily armed vessel, the ship was tragically unstable. The reason for this was a critical design flaw. The Vasa was top-heavy. Too much weight was placed in the upper decks, and there was insufficient ballast in the lower sections of the ship to counterbalance it. This imbalance, coupled with a sudden gust of wind, was enough to cause the ship to tilt beyond its tipping point. The Vasa's designers had ignored the instability during construction, focusing more on grandeur and firepower than on fundamental engineering principles like weight distribution and balance.
How the fuck did y'all overlook that?
The ship's excessive height and the lack of proper ballast in the lower parts of the ship made it prone to tipping over. Within minutes of setting sail, the Vasa sank, taking the lives of dozens of crew members who were aboard the ship. The tragic event was a stark reminder of the dangers of neglecting engineering fundamentals in favor of ambition and pride. For over 300 years, the wreckage of the Vasa remained at the bottom of Stockholm's harbor. It wasn't until 1961 that the ship was finally recovered and painstakingly preserved. The Vasa, now housed in a museum, stands as a powerful symbol of the consequences of ignoring critical engineering principles. Its recovery serves as a reminder that no matter how grand or impressive a project may be, without proper design and attention to safety, even the most majestic creations can meet a disastrous end.
Facts.
Teton Dam disaster. The Teton Dam in Idaho was an ambitious and cutting-edge project when it was completed in the 1970s. The dam was designed to control flooding, provide irrigation, and supply water to the region, making it a crucial piece of infrastructure for local communities. Built using compacted layers of soil and rock, the dam was considered state-of-the-art for its time. However, on June 5, 1976, disaster struck when the dam failed catastrophically, resulting in one of the most devastating engineering failures in American history. The incident began when the dam's reservoir reached full capacity for the first time. As the water levels rose, small leaks began to form in the dam. At first, these leaks were manageable, and efforts were made to seal them.
What are dams used for? I don't know. That's a question for y'all. I genuinely don't know what dams are used for.
Form in the dam. At first, these leaks were manageable, and efforts were made to seal them, but the situation quickly escalated. Despite the repairs, the dam's integrity continued to deteriorate. Just hours later, the dam suffered a massive breach, releasing more than 250,000 acre-feet of water into the downstream areas. The resulting flood was devastating, particularly for the towns of Wilford and Rexburg, which were inundated by the rushing water. The floodwaters destroyed homes, businesses, and infrastructure, and tragically, 11 people lost their lives in the disaster. The damage was so severe that it was estimated to cost
bad damage, but RIP to those 11 people, but that's actually kind of good. Good damage control, at least. Wow, thank God for everything, man, because when bad things like world-ending things do happen, the world doesn't end. It just continues going. Like, I really wonder, like, how these people, like, just recovered from that shit. That's sad, man. Like, life is really pessimistic when you, like, really think about that shit. It is actually very scary, dog.
Cost billions of dollars to repair. The event also caused widespread environmental damage, with farmland and livestock being swept away by the flood.
My God.
The root cause of the Teton Dam disaster lay in a combination of poor construction techniques and the use of highly porous rock in the dam's structure. The porous rock allowed water to seep through, weakening the dam from within. The leaks and the infiltration of water further destabilized the dam, ultimately leading to its catastrophic failure. While the dam's design had been considered advanced at the time, the materials used and the lack of adequate oversight and maintenance led to its collapse. Sampung Department Store. Collapse. The Sampung Department Store in Seoul, South Korea was once a symbol of the country's rapid economic growth during the 1990s. The department store, built in 1987, was meant to be a beacon of prosperity, reflecting the dynamic transformation of South Korea's urban landscape. Originally, the building was designed as a 4-story office block. However, during construction, the plans were changed to accommodate a 5-story luxury department store. This seemingly the planned building was designed as a 4-story office block. However, during construction, the plans were changed to accommodate a 5-story luxury department store. This seemingly simple decision to expand the building ended up having disastrous consequences. To fit the new design, several critical support columns were removed from the structure. In addition to this structural change, a heavy air conditioning unit was placed on the roof of the building, adding substantial weight that the foundation was not designed to handle. These alterations severely weakened the building's integrity, compromising its ability to bear the loads it was subjected to. The building showed signs of These alterations severely weakened the building's integrity, compromising its ability to bear the loads it was subjected to. The building showed signs of distress well before the eventual collapse. In the months leading up to the disaster, cracks began appearing in the walls and floors, a clear indication that the structure was struggling to support the changes made to it. Despite these alarming signs, the building's owners and management chose to ignore the cracks, opting not to take any.
What the fuck? What? Yeah, there's cracks in the wall, and this building really seems like it's really starting to fuck up bad. Let's do absolutely nothing about it. Does that sound... Bro, okay, buddy. Yeah, who the fuck hired these people?
Any corrective action. Negligence in addressing these issues would prove to be fatal. On June 29, 1995, the Sampung department store tragically collapsed. The disaster resulted in the deaths of 502 people, with nearly 1,000 more
God. Whew.
injured. It was one of the deadliest building collapses in modern history, and the aftermath of the collapse was a sobering reminder of the consequences of cutting corners in construction. Investigations revealed that the collapse was largely due to poor safety standards, disregard for engineering principles, and an overwhelming sense of greed and negligence.
Yeah, for sure that. And man, it would be kind of crazy to think like you're the cause of 500 people dying, 1,000 people getting injured. There's just a group of engineers and construction workers. You niggas are the cause for that. Y'all niggas, oh, that's kind of crazy. I ain't gonna lie, gang.
The tragedy highlighted the deadly risks of not adhering to proper construction protocols, the importance of maintaining strict safety regulations, and the dangers of making hasty changes to architectural plans without considering the long-term structural effects. Hard Rock Hotel collapse. The Hard Rock Hotel in New Orleans was designed to be a glamorous addition to the city's vibrant skyline, with plans for a rooftop bar and pool deck offering breathtaking views of the city. Construction of the hotel began in 2018, and as the project neared completion in 2019, excitement grew for the new luxury landmark. However, on October 12, 2019, disaster struck when the upper floors of the building suddenly collapsed. The collapse resulted in the tragic deaths of 3 workers, with several more injured in the incident. The cause of the collapse was traced back to a series of cost-cutting measures during the construction process. One of the key structural issues involved the steel beams on the 16th and 17th floors. In an attempt to accommodate higher ceilings for the hotel's design, the construction team opted to use thinner steel beams, which were not capable of supporting the weight they were expected to carry. This decision, made in the name of reducing costs, directly compromised the structural integrity of the building. As the weight from the upper floors built up, the thinner steel beams were unable to bear the load, ultimately leading to their catastrophic failure. The building's upper floors crumpled, sending debris falling down through the lower levels and causing significant damage. The collapse sent shockwaves through the construction industry, raising concerns about the safety practices employed on the project and the risks of cutting corners to save money. Following the collapse, investigations revealed that the failure of the steel beams was not the only issue with the building's construction.
What was it?
There were also reports of insufficient oversight and a lack of proper safety measures for workers. The tragedy highlighted the dangers of prioritizing cost savings over structural safety and design integrity. As a result, the Hard Rock Hotel collapse led to a broader review of building safety standards, particularly in New Orleans and other urban areas with large-scale construction projects. Walkie-talkie. In 2014, London's walkie-talkie building, officially known as the 20 Fenchurch Street skyscraper, gained notoriety for a highly dangerous and unexpected issue. The building's distinctive design, with its concave glass facade, quickly became a source of both admiration and concern. While the shape of the building was meant to make it stand out,
Bro, please, this building better not fucking fall, dog. I pray, Lord, this building better not fall.
it inadvertently became a giant mirror that focused sunlight onto the streets below, creating intense, concentrated beams of heat. The problem was that the concave design acted like a massive magnifying glass, reflecting sunlight in a way that intensified the heat. This focused sunlight was so powerful that it melted parts of a Jaguar car parked on the street below.
God dang!
The heat was also strong enough to scorch nearby buildings and cause damage to street signs, paving, and other surfaces. In some cases, the temperatures on the street reached an astonishing 243 degrees Fahrenheit, far exceeding the typical heat of a sunny day in London. Londoners quickly began to refer to the building as the Fry Scraper, due to the extreme heat it caused. The glare from the building even made it difficult for pedestrians to walk near the affected areas without feeling the intense heat. The public outcry was swift, and the building's architects and developers were forced to take emergency measures to resolve the situation. To address the problem, sunshades were installed on the building to deflect the sunlight and reduce the intense glare that had caused such chaos. While the design of the walkie-talkie building was undeniably striking and visually unique, it became clear that the building's form had overlooked a critical engineering flaw. The intense heat caused by the concave glass facade not only caused immediate damage, but also raised concerns about the long-term impact on the surrounding environment and infrastructure.
Bro, aren't these niggas scientists? Don't they, like, review the glass that they're using and say, yo, that glass is not okay in the sun. You probably don't want to fucking use that specific type of glass. Like, don't these guys fucking think? Like, bro, I don't get, like, there has to be at least 50 people working on this. 50 different engineers working on this at once. Are they not just sitting here just thinking, is this glass fucking okay? Fuck no. And who cares if it doesn't look cool? This thing is literally frying people. It is frying me alive, and they're not focused on that. That's fucking insane.
While the building's design was eye-catching,
That's crazy,
its
bro.
flaw made it a prime example of how even the most daring architectural statements can lead to dangerous consequences when not properly thought through. The collapse of Tacoma Narrows Bridge. The collapse of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge, affectionately known as Galloping Gertie, on November 7, 1940, remains one of the most infamous engineering failures in history. Designed by engineer Leon Moisseiff, the bridge incorporated the latest advancements in suspension bridge theory, boasting a sleek and modern design that aimed to save costs while providing an efficient route for motorists. However, just 4 months after its opening,
oh, hell no. Oh, hell no, bro.
Disaster struck. On that fateful day, winds of 40 miles per hour caused the bridge to twist violently, with the deck moving like a ribbon in the wind. This unexpected behavior created a dangerous instability in the structure, which was unable to withstand the force. The bridge's design, which was considered innovative at the time, turned out to have a critical flaw. It was too aerodynamic. The lightweight structure, combined with the lack of proper measures to prevent aerodynamic instability, caused the bridge to oscillate uncontrollably. The relentless movement led to the bridge's eventual collapse into the cold waters of Puget Sound. The disaster, while tragic, proved to be a turning point in bridge engineering. Investigations into the collapse revealed that the lack of damping systems and the bridge's unique aerodynamic properties had created the conditions for such a failure. The lessons learned from this event significantly influenced future suspension bridge designs, prompting engineers to incorporate better wind resistance measures and more robust structural elements. The collapse of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge highlighted the need for a deeper understanding of aerodynamics and the importance of ensuring stability in suspension bridges. The Aon Center's Marble Crisis. The Aon Center in Chicago, originally known as the Standard Oil Building, serves as a striking example of how luxurious materials can sometimes lead to disastrous results in architecture. Completed in 1973, the building was designed to stand out with its sleek, modern appearance, and its exterior was clad in Italian Carrara marble, a material known for its beauty and elegance. However, within just 1 year of its completion, the marble began to show signs of severe distress. Cracks appeared across the facade, and in some cases, entire panels of marble weighing over 300 pounds detached and fell to the ground below, posing a significant risk to pedestrians. The culprit behind the marble's failure was Chicago's extreme climate. The city experiences drastic temperature changes with hot summers and frigid winters. These fluctuations cause the marble to expand and contract, putting immense pressure on the material. Over time, this constant shifting weakened the marble, leading to cracks and detachment. Despite efforts to make temporary fixes, such as reinforcing the panels, the problem continued to worsen. In the early 1990s, after several failed attempts at patching the marble, a decision was made to completely refinish the building's exterior. The original Carrara marble was replaced with more durable Mount Airy granite, a material better suited to withstand Chicago's harsh weather conditions. The costly project, which amounted to $80 million, was more than half the original price of the building itself. The Aeon Center's marble crisis highlights the importance of selecting the right materials for a building's environment, while Carrara marble is...
Hey, thank God the building didn't fall down, though. Because if this building had fallen down, nigga... Man, I don't know what to say, man. But thank God this building did not fall down, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, we all make mistakes, bro. We just gotta be careful, gang. We just gotta be careful, gang. Remember, damn, bro.
It's the importance of selecting the right materials for a building's environment. While Carrara marble is prized for its aesthetic qualities, it was not suitable for the challenges posed by Chicago's climate. The building's refacing serves as a reminder that structural integrity should always take precedence over appearances in architectural design. This crisis ultimately resulted in significant changes to construction practices, demonstrating the critical need for careful consideration of materials when constructing buildings in extreme environments. Sydney Opera House, a dream turned nightmare. The Sydney Opera House, one of the most iconic structures in the world, had a long and troubled journey to completion. Initially planned to take 4 years and cost $7 million Australian dollars, the project dragged on for 14 years and ended up costing over 100 million Australian dollars, almost 1,300% more than originally planned. Designed by Danish architect Jørn Utzon, the Opera House featured an innovative design, particularly its unique sail-shaped concrete shells. These shells posed significant engineering challenges, and the project required frequent redesigns, pushing the limits of technology at the time. Utzon's resignation in 1966 due to political disputes and internal conflicts further delayed the project. The interior design, particularly the acoustics, was left unfinished, and the building was infamous for poor sound quality when it opened in 1973. This problem led to a major renovation in recent years, costing nearly 300 million Australian dollars to install new acoustic panels and improve the building's sound quality. Despite the tumultuous process, the Sydney Opera House remains a UNESCO World Heritage Site, symbolizing both the challenges and triumphs of modern architecture.
Let's go, dude.
The shocking collapse of the Seongsu Bridge.
Whew. If y'all made it to this far, comment drawing tablet pen if you've made it this far. Man, I am an architectural engineer. When I graduate, man, I'm not I am making sure life is good. That's it. Gang, like I am boring over over 10 seconds of fucking trash, dog. I will rather have a boring ass design and it's 100% safe than to have something that is clean as hell and is like 50 to 70% safe. I'm not risking it. Not a risk I want to take in my life. No way.
The collapse of the Seongsu Bridge in Seoul, South Korea, on October 21, 1994, remains one of the most tragic reminders of the dangers associated with rapid urban development and neglected infrastructure. At the time of the disaster, the bridge, which had been constructed in 1979, was a critical part of the city's transportation network. Originally designed to accommodate 880,000 vehicles daily, the bridge was carrying over 160,000 vehicles per day by the early 1990s, more than double its intended capacity. This overwhelming increase in traffic put immense strain on the structure, which was not designed to handle such a volume of vehicles. On the fateful day of the collapse, a 48-meter section of the Seongsu Bridge gave way during rush hour.
How the fuck do y'all make this fuck-ass mistake, bro? How the fuck do y'all... Bro, y'all studied physics and all this crap for fucking how many hours a day? Y'all are some Asian-ass niggas, too, so I know y'all niggas be in the school day. I know y'all niggas be in school all day. Bro, y'all niggas are in school all day studying the craziest maths and y'all make a mistake like this. That's just pure negligence. That's pure negligence, ignorance, and pride, bro. How the fuck do y'all not see this? Y'all can calculate the universe with y'all's math, nigga. And y'all could not calculate a fucking bridge on this planet, nigga. Come on, make that shit make fucking sense, nigga.
Vehicles, including a bus, plunged into the Han River below, resulting in the
RIP.
deaths of 32 people and
Oh,
injuring
RIP.
17 others.
Oh, not many people died, but still, RIP to all the 32 niggas there, man. In fact, RIP to all the real niggas worldwide, man. Salute, bro. Nah, deadass on some real nigga shit, bro. That's some crazy ass shit, my nigga. How the fuck can y'all can calculate the whole universe, nigga? Y'all couldn't calculate a simple bridge, bro. Y'all niggas, I can't.
The collapse occurred despite several warnings. Just hours before the disaster, reports had surfaced about visible cracks in the bridge, but no immediate action was taken to address these issues. Investigations into the cause of the collapse revealed a combination of factors, including faulty construction and poor welding of critical components. Rusted pins and a lack of regular maintenance also contributed to the bridge's failure. These structural weaknesses had been gradually building over time, and the added strain of increased traffic made the collapse inevitable. The disaster underscored the dangers of cutting corners in construction and failing to prioritize the long-term safety of infrastructure
What
projects.
the fuck are they trying to cut corners? I don't get like why like everything has to be a fucking business. Why the hell are you cutting corners in fucking life? And this is real life, actual real world shit we're fucking with. Why the fuck are we cutting corners? Why? People do it all the time. Oh, it just needs to be good. No! Like, why are we cutting corners? Like, bro, I don't care. Bro, niggas are good right now. We don't need any more advancements in the fucking world when it comes to just, shit. Like, there's just certain shit, bro. We don't need this bridge. We don't need that. And if now we can take our precious fucking time and not cut no fucking corners. How about you just take your time and not cut no fucking corners, bro? That's crazy as fuck. Niggas cut corners to relax on resources so that they don't cost more. Who gives a fuck? Why does everything have to be a fucking business? I'm so sorry. Like, why does everything have to be about money? Why can't things just literally be about safety and just niggas relaxing, bro? Like, I swear, I need to get off grid, bro. I need to get off grid. These niggas is tripping, gang.
The Seongsu
That's
Bridge
crazy.
collapse was a wake-up call for South Korea, prompting significant reforms in the soon inevitable. The disaster underscored the dangers of cutting corners in construction and failing to prioritize the long-term safety of infrastructure projects. The Seongsu Bridge collapse was a wake-up call for South Korea, prompting significant reforms in the country's construction regulations. In the aftermath of the disaster, the government implemented stricter standards for infrastructure projects and instituted more frequent inspections and maintenance schedules. These changes aim to prevent similar tragedies in the future, highlighting the critical need for careful planning, regular upkeep, and safety in urban development. Rana Plaza disaster, a building's fatal flaws. The Rana Plaza disaster, which occurred on April 24, 2013 in Bangladesh, remains one of the deadliest industrial accidents in history.
What
The
the
8-story
heck?
building, located near the capital city of Dhaka, housed 5 garment factories producing clothing for well-known Western brands. The building, originally designed for commercial use with shops and offices, was never intended to support the heavy machinery required for garment production. Despite this, factory owners converted the structure to house factories, adding 4 illegal floors without the necessary permits or structural consideration.
What the-
Commercial
wait,
use
what?
with clothing for well-known Western brands. The building, originally designed for commercial use with shops and offices, was never intended to support the heavy machinery required for garment production. Despite this, factory owners converted the structure to house factories, adding 4 illegal floors without the necessary permits or structural considerations. Just one day before the collapse on April 23rd.
Man, I'm just so glad I'm not like fucking in like Nigeria right now, bro. Like, I'm just so glad I'm in America, bro. Like, even though America isn't goated, I'm just so glad I'm not in this fucking Nigerian ass I don't know, this fucking third world country ass environment, bro. Thank God, bro.
Third, cracks were observed in the building's walls. However, under immense pressure to meet production deadlines, the factory owners ignored these signs of structural failure and ordered workers to return to work the next day. This reckless decision set the stage for the catastrophic collapse. At 8:57 a.m. on April 24, 2013, the building gave way. The structure, weakened by substandard construction materials and built on unstable land, crumbled to the ground. In the aftermath, 1,134 people lost their lives, and more than 2,500 were injured. The majority of the victims were garment workers, many of whom were trapped inside the building when it collapsed. The sheer scale of the tragedy shocked the world and brought attention to the dangerous working conditions faced by millions of garment workers.
And niggas in America complain about their fucking job that they go to, and they're not doing jack shit at their job, but literally probably staring at ass and beating their shit at their job, nigga. You staring at ass and beating your shit at your job every day. Look at these niggas. You could not survive a day in these niggas' shoes, man. And after this, bro, after this shit, they probably the government probably was just like, man, we don't even give a fuck like that. We don't even care. Lives are nothing compared to our lives. Our lives are heaven compared to half of these niggas, bro. Y'all niggas think y'all have it tough out here because y'all go to work for 8 hours and in 5 days in a week, literally just beating your shit at your job all day, nigga. I know you're not doing nothing at that job, bro. You're not doing shit at that job, bro. So anyway, y'all niggas need to lock in, bro. Y'all niggas need to be grateful for life, because this shit can turn around in any fucking second, bro. That's so serious,
brought
bro.
Attention to the dangerous working conditions faced by millions of garment workers, particularly in countries like Bangladesh,
RIP,
where
bro.
safety regulations were often lax. Investigations into the disaster revealed that the building's structural integrity had been compromised from the start. It was built on land that was not stable enough to support the weight of the added floors, and substandard materials were used throughout its construction. These factors, combined with the illegal modifications, led to the building's fatal collapse. In response to the disaster, the Rana Plaza collapse led to a significant shift in workplace safety standards. In 2013, the Bangladesh Accord on Fire and Building Safety was created, a legally binding agreement aimed at improving working conditions and ensuring safety in garment factories across Bangladesh. The agreement brought together brands, trade unions, and NGOs, and it focused on ensuring proper safety inspections, fire protection, and structural improvements in the country's garment industry. Though the tragedy was devastating, it prompted crucial reforms that sought to protect the lives of workers and prevent future disasters in the global garment industry. Champlain Towers South, a catastrophic failure. The collapse of Champlain Towers South in Surfside, Florida, on June 24, 2021, was a tragedy that shocked the nation and devastated the community. The 12-story condominium, completed in 1981, was once a desirable place to live, known for its oceanfront views and prime location. The building was constructed with steel-reinforced concrete, which was expected to ensure its long-term stability. However, beneath the surface, hidden structural issues had been deteriorating the integrity of the building for years. Reports as early as 2018 raised concerns about significant issues with the building's structure. These included water intrusion from the pool deck, which led to corrosion of the steel reinforcements beneath the concrete. This corrosion weakened the building's structural.
How the fuck y'all niggas not say, hey, bro, evacuate this area? Bro, niggas are not focused on safety, bro. They are not focused on fucking safety, bro. They don't care about safety anymore. Nigga, that is the most important thing by far in anything in life. Nigga, it's because we're safe. We are allowed to do it thanks to safety. Thanks to safety, we are allowed to do that shit. You're literally forgetting. Okay, there's no bears in this fucking area. There's no lions. Like, I mean, there is coyotes, but... Bro, you're not just, like, you are gonna probably get attacked by a coyote, but you're not gonna get fucked up. You have a chance of living. But, like, bro, like, all of this shit is thanks to safety, thanks that things are better, bro.
Elements, making it more vulnerable to failure. Additionally, the building was constructed on reclaimed wetlands, an unstable foundation that contributed to subsidence or gradual sinking of the structure over time. Despite these warning signs, necessary repairs were not made promptly, and the building continued to deteriorate.
What? So we have signs of, yo, bro, hey, bro, there's water in the, like, under the hotel, bro. Like, what's going on with this shit, bro? Like, yo, this shit could happen, yo, bad shit. Y'all niggas are not locked in. Y'all niggas are not thinking. Like, maybe you could call it paranoia, but my nigga, I'm always thinking, bro. I'm sorry, I just can't go nowhere without my thinking, gang. It's just like, bro, I'm just that nigga, bro. I just be thinking, bro, because life is just always gonna try to ruin some shit, bro. Every time you in the moment, bro, you chilling, bro, life is just gonna try to ruin that shit. Let me just ruin this nigga's life real quick. Y'all niggas are not thinking, like, bro, I don't know. Maybe it's because I've always just had, like, bad luck throughout life when it just came to things. So it's just like, bro, I'm just always thinking, like, okay, is this really the time? Is this really the one? You know what I'm saying?
At 1:22 a.m. on June 24, 2021, the unthinkable happened. In less than 12 seconds, the building collapsed in a catastrophic failure. The collapse left 98 people dead and many more injured, with scores of residents and families affected by the tragedy. The rapid and complete collapse of the building highlighted the critical importance of timely maintenance and inspections for aging structures. The Champlain Towers South disaster became one of the deadliest building collapses in U.S. history and brought urgent attention to the issues of structural safety and building code enforcement. The tragedy led to a national reckoning on the need for stricter regulations and more frequent inspections of older buildings, especially those in coastal and flood-prone areas. In the aftermath, calls for better monitoring of building conditions and faster response to maintenance needs have grown, as communities and authorities work to ensure such a disaster does not happen again. As we conclude today's journey through the biggest construction mistakes in the world, it's staggering to think about the enormous impact these errors had on our built environment. From bridges that swayed into disaster to skyscrapers that crumbled under their own weight, each story serves as a powerful lesson in engineering, design, and the importance of planning. If you found these tales of missteps as eye-opening as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective on these monumental failures and the lessons they teach us for the future of construction.
And that's that. Yeah, man. Overall, I'm not gonna let y'all down. I'm not. I ain't, because Daniel Ibe, am going to be a great fucking engineer. Now let's see what these comments are looking like. Earthquakes are terrible. Whew. Dude, could you imagine the Leaning Tower fell the first time you saw it? That would mess with a person. You would have no choice but to believe Final Destination was real. Godspeed. You really shouldn't include videos of actual buildings being destroyed by explosives. They are not construction mistakes. Oh, really? We know there are just not enough videos of the actual mistakes in action. Got so tired of robot readers, and this is another one. Instead of 82 feet, it reads 82 feet. Robots fall like this all the time. That's so facts. And the information is heavily rehashed, as it covered heavily elsewhere by earlier documentators. No wonder this video has a pretty weird like to dislike ratio. 9,000 likes and 3,000 dislikes. Let's see how many likes it has. I'm not gonna make it to the 10,000th like. But yeah, I mean, I might have to dislike it because it's AI. Yeah, these robot readers are so annoying. But anyway, though, yeah, that's gonna do for this video. Overall, guys, just make good decisions for the human race and love them. And that's it, bro.